Hey everyone, this is Daniel,
And I'm Jun,
and we are
Korean.
American.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, this is the first time we're recording during the AM
Yes, this is our
Cheers.
first early morning recording session.
because I'm starting working again,
Yeah.
and we had a hard time figuring out the recording time. And Daniel came up with a very good idea of trying to record before I go to work. So currently, right now, the recording time is 8:02 a.m.
Yeah, June,
Yeah.
we were chatting because you were editing shorts in the morning,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, you do this before work?
Yes.
We can record before work."
That was your thinking.
That was my. If you're awake anyway, because again, June, if I were you, I would wake up like 15 minutes before I head into the office.
I don't know
And-
why. I think I just opened my eyes at 7:30ish.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, regardless
that's
of
your
when I.
natural wake up time.
Mhm.
Good.
Mm.
I was gonna say though, I think I know how much you love this podcast. If you're willing to sacrifice sleep, but you're actually not.
I do. This is very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. This is
In
nice.
the morning.
Very lovely.
Although I was expecting some like nice morning sunshine,
Yeah,
and today I think it's raining, right?
it is raining. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got caught in it a tiny bit coming here.
So, you want to ask what I did last week?
June, how was
Yes.
your last week? What have you been up to?
I watched this movie.
Yeah.
It's apparently very, very popular in Korea right now.
Okay.
It's a Korean movie, and I don't think you've heard of it.
I probably would not have. Yeah.
It's called Pamyo. I don't know what the English title is.
Uh-huh.
Pamyo means, I think it means to dig up the grave.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But myo is the myo for like tomb.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And so it's a horror film,
Oh, yeah.
but it's a bit of a mix between, do you know what an occult is?
Occult?
Occult.
It's like what, like the mysticism type thing, or
Yeah, exorcism.
exorcisms? Yeah.
And then shamanism. But like traditional Korean shamanism
Mm.
mixed with, I guess, ethno-nationalism a little bit.
Okay.
So it was very controversial.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
Are you
don't
trying
wanna
to be
say-
careful for spoiler reasons?
No.
Oh, okay.
Political reasons.
Oh, political reasons.
Yeah, because I don't want to say very, but there was a little bit of controversy around the main topic of it.
Okay.
You know how in Korea sometimes they say if something's going wrong without a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and you go to like a Korean traditional shaman, they
Yeah.
would say it's because like there's something wrong with your ancestors.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Like sometimes they say like something's wrong with the tomb of your ancestor.
Yeah.
And the whole theme of this movie is around that
Oh,
kind of topic.
okay.
The controversial part is that they take in the topic of Japanese dominance era and how there was a controversy, or like I want to say myth or a rumor,
Mm-hmm.
saying that there are a lot of like metal rods all around Korea after
Okay.
they left,
Yeah.
and there was a rumor
Wait, so that part is a fact. There were a lot of metal rods remaining.
that part is a fact.
Okay.
Yeah. And the, I guess, understanding of why they left a lot of metal rods was the rumor part.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And during the early 90s, I knew this by research.
Uh-huh.
I think the government used this as sort of like a propaganda.
Oh.
You know how like sometimes Korean government's trying to use like anti-Japanism to up their approval rate?
Sure, yeah.
And that happened in the early 90s too.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to say, this is actually what the government said at the time. These rods were used by the Japanese government to, they call it 민족정.
Uh-huh.
They were trying to claim that Japanese were trying to mess up the, I guess, the flux of the national chi,
Wow, okay.
national energy.
Yeah.
They're trying to put it in like these mountains
Oh.
that are, I guess, apparently very spiritual
Yeah.
to like stop the flux of the national energy,
Interesting. Yeah.
which is total BS. And some people still believe it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to say it's kind of a little bit controversial.
Okay, I see. Wait, sorry, did
It's-
these metal rods appear in the movie specifically?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's the whole story is it goes around that theme of the metal rods a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's BS. I can just proudly say
Wait,
that it's BS.
okay, well, what is actually the reason behind these metal rods?
There are many different theories, and I think the most convincing one is that it was used for landscape measurement.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
They're trying to like map out the topography of Korea using
Yeah.
these rods.
Yeah.
Is that like a, I guess, established technique Japan used in Japan already?
Or like I think everywhere in the world, I think
These things exist.
at the time at
Okay,
least.
okay.
Before they had like the tools that we have right now.
Yeah.
So speaking of myths,
Okay.
there are many different myths
Yeah.
in Korea that are sometimes they go past just myths or superstitions,
Mm-hmm.
things that people almost religiously believe.
Yeah.
And today we'd like to go through a list of those both in Korea and America.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds great. I think one thing that not only Korean Americans, but I think the whole world makes fun of Korea for in particular. I'm sure you know this one.
Yes, I know what you're going to say.
Fan death.
Fan death. So these are things, this is one of the things that at some point the entire nation actually believed that was a scientific fact.
Legitimately believed, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like mothers would come into like their sons or daughters' rooms to turn off the fan when they're sleeping.
At night, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how this started or where it started.
It's not on Namu Wiki.
Maybe it is on Namu Wiki.
Oh.
Should I check?
I guess I really am curious how this originated, right? Because I can imagine, like you said, right?
There's a Namu Wiki, of course.
It might be just propaganda by the government to save electricity bills, right? Like it's just such a waste keeping fans on overnight. Or, right, like there might have been some tragic death involving a fan at night and that just became this big thing, right?
Okay, it says in Namu Wiki, the reason for the spread of these myths is likely due to a combination of exaggeration of the characteristics of electric fans in the minds of many people, such as feeling of difficulty breathing due to the strong headwind when blowing from the front.
Wow.
And the memory of getting colds.
Oh, yeah. So this one is...
and asthma, etc., due to dust from dirty blades that were not cleaned.
Okay, I'm less convinced then. Yeah, that was not a convincing Namawiki origin story for me.
Maybe.
But anyway, yeah.
Yes, fan death it's on the top of the list. And it's something that, again, this is one of the things that are past superstitions and everyone actually believed that was true.
How about modern day Korea?
I think, I want to say like only maybe 10% of people actually believe this is true still. 90% of people don't believe in it anymore. But this is the thing. There's a sensation that is described in Korean language called 찝찝하다.
Okay.
Do you know what 찝찝하다 means?
Never heard of it.
Feeling of a bit of an iffiness, right?
Yeah.
Like if you feel iffy and it's so easy to just not do it, why would you do it? Kind of thing. So I think the 10% would say that, oh, 찝찝하니까.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit iffy. I know maybe it's not true, but like it's so easy
why
to
take
just
the
not
chance?
do it.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go another way with that, which is the 90% still probably turns it off at night just in case.
Just in case, right? That's
but not the 10%, the 90%. Like,
oh, I think
it's just reflex, right? Like if you really grew up thinking that,
I want to say 90% of people don't care anymore.
Oh, really?
10% of people just turns it off just in case.
Okay.
I don't know. This is not scientific statistics, just my feeling. I think collective, I guess, intellectualism evolves over time.
Yeah.
Right? Think about like in the 50s, right?
Yeah.
Imagine how superstitious people were.
Of course, yeah.
Without even knowing it was superstition. And now I think, I guess as society becomes more and more analytical, scientific, I guess people just naturally got to know that it's not true.
Okay. And it's just so information spreads so quickly, right? Yeah.
And I guess there's an accumulating population that woke up with accidentally having the fan on and knowing that,
Oh, I didn't die.
I
Yeah.
didn't die.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have a whole list of these as well.
See, the thing about American superstitions are they're just superstitions, and people know that they're superstitions. Are there anyone that you think that as an entire nation, people at some point actually believe that it was true?
Oh, yeah, I do believe there's some. So
Oh, that's interesting.
I'll start with this one. Coffee, very on theme today, stunts your growth. So basically, if you drink too much coffee, especially at a young age, you won't grow as tall. This was a very commonly held belief, which I think now scientifically has been shown to have no backing.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know how it started. I can imagine parents not wanting caffeine, a stimulant, having kids drink it because then they'll be too hyper.
Oh, I don't know if it's for the same reason, but in Korea also, parents don't give coffee to children.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable giving coffee to you?
No, because it's like maybe 찝찝하다.
Yeah, 찝찝해, right? Iffy.
Like it's maybe there's no scientific backing,
Yeah.
but I grew up with this belief. Yeah, so it's
Hey, that's a good one.
There's a common saying like old habits die hard. It's like I just I don't. Yeah, I still can't get over in my mind. Like I think coffee will stunt their growth. Like I really can't get over that.
But not only growth though. Are you saying that there aren't any proven negative effects of caffeine to young children?
Yeah, again, I didn't do deep research here. I think I read, too much coffee can prevent the uptake of some other nutrients, maybe. So if they're replacing, let's say, every drink with coffee, right, that's probably going to have a negative effect. And also in general, caffeine is a stimulant. So you don't necessarily want your kid, let's say, getting too much of any stimulant, whether it's sugar or caffeine or whatever. So, I wouldn't give my kid Red Bull either. Right? It's just like not healthy for them. But really, coffee, it's still in my mind just so deeply ingrained. Oh, I can't give kids coffee. It's going to stunt their growth. But that's not true.
I see.
It's just like, you shouldn't give your kid probably any caffeine, whether it's coming from soda, Red Bull, coffee. But coffee is unique. I don't think coffee is just as bad as soda, for example. I think it's worse.
I see.
It's just, this was an old myth I heard growing up. I think the whole country believes it and still believes it, even though there's no scientific backing. Yeah.
Speaking of children and parenting, have you ever had the experience of growing up, your parents wouldn't let you be in front of the microwave when it's on?
Oh yeah. This was a common one too.
Yeah, that's an American myth too.
It was not as widespread, I believe. But I also grew up like thinking, if I look at the microwaves are gonna like zap me somehow. Yeah.
So I don't know if the experience that you had from your parents is a Korean myth or an American myth. Though.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
I suspect it's an American myth though. But
really,
yeah.
So they're saying that we call it 전자파 in Korean.
Yeah.
Like electro waves are bad for you.
Oh.
Yeah. And same goes for I don't know if this is a myth or there's some science that's backing this, but for let's say the heated pads.
Oh, yeah.
They say there are a lot of 전자파.
Really? Electric blankets?
Yeah.
Oh, so those are out of fashion right now.
No,
they're
they still have it. But some people, if they're very cautious about that, they will substitute it with 온수매트. It's like warm water.
Oh, wow.
You know that the ones that have a little bit pump system that would like circulate warm water around?
I don't know, but this is like the Korean equivalent of a water mattress.
It is a water mattress, yeah. But I think I want to say that there aren't a lot of scientific backing around this.
Yeah.
Because it's just heated, right?
Yeah. This one I think this is like a common thing that I'm on the fence myself, right? Like there's been studies proven that, men who carry their cell phone, close to their reproductive organs have like significantly less like sperm, right? For example, like there's been proven things like that. So
really,
yeah. I think, for example, when I sleep, I try to not have my phone near my head because the Wi-Fi and the waves and everything is just going there.
So I don't know if this is an American thing. There's a rumor that spread around the Korean tech scene.
Yeah.
Saying that the electric waves somehow affects you to have a daughter. Because like everyone in the texting, a lot of people when they're having kids,
Yeah.
they all have daughters.
Really?
Yeah, and look at you.
I have 3 daughters,
You have 3
one
daughters.
son.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. Think about your friends maybe working in the tech scene.
I'll think about it. Yeah, that's
Do they have daughters?
No, I've noticed no pattern amongst my friends, but I thought
I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
I did not think you were going to go there. Americans have this really, really bad, very politicized superstition that 5G, transmission lines.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're like mind control, or it's really bad for you, or it's like the government's trying to control you through 5G.
Wait, is that a national belief?
This is very sensitive politically, but I would say the conservative party uses this to kind of demonize, right, the tech progressive left. So
the daughter thing, it was just I don't think it's a nationwide belief.
It's like a niche belief.
It's a
within
niche
the tech
belief.
industry.
Yes.
Okay, I'll have to think about that. But I've never heard that before. That's hilarious. Okay. Similar to, I think, staring at the microwave. Growing up also, I still pass this on to my kids. I was taught that if you sit too close to the TV, it's really bad for your eyesight. But again, I think the science proves that just like looking at any screen, either too close or too long, it strains your eyes. It makes them tired, but it won't make them go bad per se.
Really?
Yeah, so.
You know what's really interesting? The things that you claim that are American myths are still something that I still believe that it was scientifically true. But I remember once my brother, who's a doctor, said that like 90% of your eyesight is just genetics.
Pure genetics. Yeah.
So yeah, that also, but I think Korean parents would also say that don't read books in the dark.
Oh yeah. So I also tell both of these things to my kids. But yeah, I think genetically, just like me and my family has really poor eyesight. So we were probably gonna have bad eyesight regardless.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's like, well, I never sat close to the TV. But to your point just now, I would sit and read in the dark, like really dim light, all the time.
Really?
Yeah. I would read in the car, right? And like, it's bouncing around. It causes a lot of eye strain.
But if it causes a lot of eye strain, wouldn't it affect your eyesight though?
That's what I thought too. But I think, again, there's been, the science doesn't say that this causes your eyesight to get worse. It can cause strained eyes, tired eyes.
Yeah.
Which maybe there's like some, I don't know, indirect implication. But
intuitively, it's just so hard to believe that they're totally independent.
I think those are the myths and superstitions that are the most, let's say, pervasive and dangerous.
Yeah,
it's I could believe that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Does make sense.
June, let me go again because I have another one related to eyesight. I'm curious if this is at all in Korea as well. Carrots make your eyesight better.
Wait, is that not true? Because I think it has a lot of like vitamin A or carotene or whatever.
Beta carotene. Yeah. So I think the science shows that while it's rich in beta carotene, which is important for eye health, no amount of carrots eaten will improve your eyesight.
You know what I'm feeling right now?
What?
You know how I talked about collective intellect?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe America's a little bit more advanced than that.
No. But June, let me be clear.
Because like America as a nation has debunked a lot of things that Koreans still believe that are true.
But the thing is, Americans still believe these. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, when I give my kids carrots, I'm like, hey, it's good for your eyes.
Yeah.
Do you want bad eyes? And I still use it. I'm saying, even though I know scientifically, there's no evidence. Yeah.
Speaking of you giving carrots and saying it's good for your eyes, right? Korean parents or Korean media would always introduce some kind of food and say it's good for your 몸에 좋다, like good for your body or good for your health.
I mean, America's the same. They're called superfoods.
It's such a vague term. What does it even mean? Like good for your health?
Yeah.
In what way, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, there must be positive effects of like consuming good food, like, right?
Oh, that I agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like the trends and like the marketing around like the latest superfood, right? Whether it's avocados or pomegranates or whatever. There's always like a trending thing in the US too.
So I guess there's a
acai was like huge for a while.
acai, yeah. I think there's a difference between, let's say, whether it's in terms of ingredients, it could be scientifically true, but realistically, it's impossible to improve your eyesight by having just like 1 or 2 carrots, right?
Yeah.
There's like things that are just completely false versus realistically impossible. Do you know what I mean? Maybe
No.
beta carotene is actually good for your eyesight.
Yeah.
But for it to actually affect your eyesight to get better, you'll have to have like I'm just like making this up, but like 10 tons of carrots per day. Do you know what I mean?
I think the research would show that no matter how many carrots you eat,
okay,
it's not going to do anything.
Because the reason why I'm saying this is because electromagnetic things that they happen in when you're taking a phone call too on your smartphone.
Yeah.
And there were some concerns on the media of like some people getting brain tumors because of using cell phones.
Yeah.
And I saw some doctors saying that yes, it is true, but for you to get brain tumors by using your cell phone, you'll have to have like 10 cell phones strapped around your head like 24 hours for like 10 years or something. Yeah. Anyways.
No, I understand what you're saying now. So like functionally, like there's no way for this to impact you, even though the kernel of like, too much EM radiation is bad for your brain is true.
Yeah. Okay.
What else do Koreans believe?
You trigger so many other things that I can think of other than my list. But anyways, Daniel, do you know why we have a little prop apple?
No, I'm very curious. Although there's an American saying too. I'll say after this, but
because we're recording in the morning.
Yeah.
And by Korean beliefs, you can only have apples in the morning. or actually more specifically, it's bad for you to have apples in the evening.
I have never ever heard of this.
Yeah.
And I eat apples at least once a week at night. Yeah. So I want to know. I'm curious.
And I think this one's closer to the ones that a lot of people actually think that it's true. And again, it's dangerous because there's some kind of scientific backing kind of some people might think that it makes sense.
Okay.
They're saying that there are a lot of acidity in apples.
True.
And I guess it ruins up your acidic level in your stomach if you have it in the evening or before you sleep.
Before you sleep, I see.
Some people believe this religiously still.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting because growing up, my parents definitely served me apples at night.
Yeah.
So either they didn't believe it or this, myth propagated, after they left. So,
maybe. Yeah.
It's interesting. Jun, do you believe this?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Or, I mean, I do, maybe I believe that if you have a lot of acidic things, like very strong acidic things in the evening, when your, I guess, diabolic system is more in
shutting
the rest
down.
status, like I can believe that it might not be a good thing, but like having apples in the evening, I don't think it'll affect it that much.
Okay. Yeah, I could see something like don't eat too much acidic foods on an empty stomach, right? I could see something like that being true.
Yeah.
Eating apples at night? Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
The American saying with apples is an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Which, again, I think it's just like a clever thing to convince kids to eat fruits and vegetables like apples.
Maybe it was a marketing scheme.
Yes.
By an Apple company.
Perfect lead-in, June, for my next one.
Yeah.
You had, growing up in my household, and I think almost every household across America, you had to drink a glass of milk every day for healthy bones.
Oh, and Korean milk companies advertise it that way too.
This was just Big Milk, like basically milking the U.S. population.
Yes.
Convincing us to drink milk. Yeah.
It was such a national belief in Korea too.
Really?
When I was in elementary school, everyone had to subscribe to get a pack of milk.
Wow.
To have every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I don't think they do it anymore.
Because milk's not a common drink in Korea, is it?
I think it is.
Still? Okay.
Why is it not? Why do you think it's not?
I mean, I haven't drank milk in decades. Yeah, and I don't see I see like banana uyu, dalgi uyu. Is that actually milk? I don't know. Is it fruit flavored milk?
It is milk
Oh,
infused with fruit
Fruit
flavors.
flavors. Okay.
But Korean milk is notoriously known to taste bad.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's very like watery.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Compared to American milk or
Yeah.
Japanese milk.
I don't know, but I think this one's interesting to me because specifically, right, like I'm lactose intolerant. I think a lot of East Asians are lactose intolerant.
Mm-hmm.
And so forcing us to drink milk every day, on the one hand, it actually built up our lactose tolerance.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah. So you can build it up. But now that I haven't drank milk for so long, I can't, I avoid heavy cream and things like that because it's going to really do a number on my stomach.
Wait, okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
The next one's also a very famous one.
Okay.
That I think this is another one of those like fan death things.
Yeah.
That up to like, let's say, late 90s, people actually believed in it a little bit.
Okay.
And now no one believes it anymore. But still, because of 찝찝해, people don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Is writing your name in red.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The saying is that if you write your name in red, you would die.
Oh. Okay. I mean, that's easy to disprove.
When I was in elementary school, like kids actually got in fights because someone wrote
someone else's name in red.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I searched for this a little bit, where the origin of where this came from.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of hypotheses. One is that during the Korean War, when they were, I guess, announcing death of your family, there was a list of people who you say attend the war, like went to fight the war. And then the people who died, they wrote it in red.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, another one is that in prison, the people who have the death penalty, their names were in red.
Okay. Wow.
I don't know.
So even today, if you were to like write your name in red, you'd feel a little icky about it. Like, oh, this is not
If I
good.
have a red pen and a black pen or blue pen, I wouldn't deliberately choose a red pen to write down names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you never write names in red, basically. Yeah.
I don't.
Okay. I mean, that's Yeah, I don't. Red in the US is usually an indicator for something negative, like that's wrong.
Yeah.
Like if a teacher were grading my assignment, they take a red marker to it and just like X, check, right? So in that sense, red has a negative connotation. But yeah, there's nothing equivalent to that, and as far as I'm concerned, yeah.
Do you know what just came to mind? Do you think the negative connotation of the color red is related to anti-communism?
Ooh. Maybe, but
because I think it could there is a factor in that in Korea at least. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. North Koreans, right?
Yeah. Reds.
Yeah, the Reds.
Yeah.
No, I think there's something to that. It could be something to that. Yeah, America, like just like you said earlier, right? Korean might politicize anti-Japanese sentiment to like take the citizens' attention away from internal strife and conflict or whatever.
Yeah.
America's the same. Every country's the same, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of American politics for a lot of the past century was basically anti-communism.
Yeah.
And even today, right? The war in Ukraine, focusing on Russia as an enemy. And like, that's like, June, right now, the U.S. politics, this is an election year.
Yeah.
Joe Biden just gave the State of the Union address. And he talked a lot about basically like, anti-Russia and, U.S. as the world's like leader and defender of democracy and all that. So anyway, sorry, all that is to say, I could see there being some truth behind, red being associated with communism.
Yeah, I think Korean people tend to move away from using too much red. I can see that in my industry because I'm a designer in tech.
Yeah. And
you know how like there are a lot of Chinese e-commerce apps that are very trendy in Korea right now? Like AliExpress or they call it Temu.
Temu, yeah. Temu. Dude, I've been getting so many ads for Temu. It's nuts.
And you know how like Chinese apps are famous to use a lot of reds in their design. Yeah. And I know that Korean people, although they would use it because of the convenience and price and all that, but they don't like the look of it because it's like so red. And it's kind of like, I don't know, there's a little bit of I don't know, reflex.
Yeah. I'm happy because red, again, I told you in America, it's just negative, right? Oh, that's an error. You got something wrong. Fix it, right? But Korean apps historically use red for just, I think you said, something important. So like confirmation would be in red too. Like, oh, this is done.
Yeah.
And for me, it's always just like red means I messed up. Like there's an error somewhere. And then, I screenshot Papa Go Translate. And it's just like, oh, your order's been confirmed. I'm like, use green, please use green.
That's so interesting. I don't know. As a designer, I always think of red as a destructive state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like delete.
Yeah.
Or like cancel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
no,
that.
but you have to admit, Koreans use it just for calling attention to something.
But before you said it, I know you said it before, but before you said it, I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, for me, it's so strong. Like red equals error.
Yeah.
At least in like UX or whatever, that I was really taken aback by Korean apps using red just for confirmation. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Myths to color communication.
Sorry.
What's the next one?
Okay. I have a couple more that are like kind of believable. And then the other ones are maybe just like fun, funny, like more in line with superstitions. But yeah, so two more. If you cross your eyes for too long, they'll stay that way.
Is that not true? Just kidding. I've never heard of this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like growing up, there was even something where like if you cross your eyes and someone like, hits you from behind, like your eyes will get stuck. So I was really deathly afraid to like cross my eyes, even though it's like a fun thing to do.
Interesting. Imagine if that was how your body works. You're at some state, and if someone like hits you from behind, it just stays that way.
Yeah. Do Koreans believe anything about like crossing your eyes or?
No.
Okay.
I don't think there is any. Yeah. Okay. Is it my turn? Or
Yeah.
do you
I
wanna
could
go
close
on a
out.
little bit?
I could close out the last one.
Yeah.
The final one I had on my list was if you crack your knuckles too much.
Wait, sorry. Is that your final one?
For this section of like commonly believed things.
Oh, okay.
Versus just like the real like legendary myths. Yeah.
Oh, I have like 20 more commonly believed myths.
Okay, maybe after this we'll do quick hits on Korea.
Okay.
The last one is cracking your knuckles too much causes arthritis.
Oh, okay. My mom used to tell me that all the time.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
she still believes in that.
I believe most Americans still believe in this.
And it's not true, right?
There's no science.
I'm so glad because I do that
Yeah. All the time. Yeah.
But even while I'm doing it,
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm thinking, this can't be good for my knuckles.
I can't believe it's good either.
Yeah.
I do it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, there's no link between this and arthritis. Yeah.
Good to know. So I'll go
Rapid fire Korea. Yeah.
You never sleep with your head facing north.
In general, like feng shui or direction or whatever,
I think so.
not a thing in the US at all, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe I'm off here, but I've never heard it mentioned. Of course, people consider like, oh, where the sun rises and where sunlight will come in from. But that's the extent of it. Yeah. So orienting furniture. Yeah.
So I don't think people in this generation believe in that anymore.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so. But my parents' generation, especially when traditionally Korean people didn't sleep in beds.
They sleep on the floor. Yeah.
So it's very easy to just switch your position. I remember I don't know if my parents said it, but my aunt or my uncles when we were like staying over at their houses, they were like, "Oh, like flip over the other side. This is north or something."
Okay.
Like that. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Another one, they don't use the number 4.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
They don't believe in that anymore. I see apartment 504 right there, right?
Yeah. Oh, even to that extent, not just the 4th floor, but they wouldn't use the number 4 at all.
The apartment that I grew up in Daegu, there are 4 buildings.
Yeah.
101, 102, 103, and 105. I'm not even joking.
That's crazy to me. Even the dong, they would skip 4.
They would skip 4.
I thought it was just the level. Yeah.
The level, they put F, right?
Yeah.
For 4.
Or they skip it entirely.
And this is because the number 4, the pronunciation is close to the Chinese character for death. So just bad luck.
Yeah. To what extent would they avoid 4 then? So you said even they wouldn't even name a building number 4, not just skip the 4th floor of a building, but I don't know. Is like the 4th kid in a family cursed or something? Like, do people believe that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's a good question.
But it's just with like building numberings,
numbers.
they skip 4.
Yes.
Is 4 unlucky in general? Like unlucky 4.
Are you saying, do I believe in that?
Koreans, yeah.
Yeah.
The
number of 4
across
is
the
unlucky
board,
in
4 is
general.
just unlucky. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
And then let's say you don't eat miyeokguk when you have a test, like an exam coming up.
Wait, what?
You didn't know this?
No.
This is pretty. But this is.
What if you have a test on your birthday, June? You're screwed.
I know, right? That's the conflict. But these are one of the ones that I know that people even do that, know that it's not scientific.
Yeah.
But it's just a superstition.
Yeah.
It's because the seaweed is slippery. So you would slip and not pass the exam.
I see.
Is the belief.
Yeah.
There's so many other things too. Like, it's bad luck if you shake your legs.
Oh, dude, yeah. This one, my parents got me all the time because I'm a leg shaker. I have like restless leg syndrome. My dad would tell me, "You're shaking away your blessings." And when I was at my grandparents' house and my grandfather was still alive, he would every time, like within a second, he'd like put his hand on my knee and say, "Stop shaking." Yeah.
Okay. Never give shoes as a present for your significant other.
Oh, wait. This one rings a bell because they'll run away with them, right?
Yeah.
They'll put them on and run away. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like this might be an international. I think other countries might believe this too. This one sounds familiar.
Interesting. Yeah. And then there are and then there's a realm of shamanism, Korean traditional shamanism, and like feng shui and all that.
Okay. Wait, you bundle those together?
Am I not supposed to? Because feng shui is scientific?
No, I don't know. For me, shamanism is on another level.
Yeah.
Of like, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas feng shui, it's more of like what's the right word? Like a design methodology almost. It's like a way of designing and orienting. Whereas shamanism to me is like, okay, like you're not gonna throw rice and predict the future.
Like designing, like the method of designing and orienting based on shamanism, right?
Oh, is that feng shui?
Wait, where's the science behind that?
Again, I don't know. Again, I always thought feng shui for me, I use the term to describe just like paying careful attention to how you orient and design a space in relation to its environment. So that's for me feng shui. I don't know if there's more like, oh, if you do this, it's bad luck for you.
Yeah, I don't know. So, okay, little anecdote.
Yeah.
We had a newcomer in our office just yesterday.
Okay.
And he came from this gaming startup, right? And they were in Apgujeong. Their office was located in Apgujeong for a very long time. I didn't know this before. And Apgujeong is not famous for having a lot of startups or tech companies.
It's not, yeah.
And I asked, why did they have their office in Apgujeong for a very long time? And they said, because the CEO of the company was very close to the shaman.
Oh, wow.
And the shaman said that it's very good for you to be in the Apgujeong area.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to talk about 손 없는 날.
Okay. What's that? Yeah, translate to.
Okay, whenever you move or get married, or like have these important events in your life, they say you should do it in a 손 없는 날. And I didn't know what 손 없는 날 meant. Okay. I've heard it a lot. And I only knew after researching for this podcast, 손 없는 날, 손 apparently means like evil demons.
Oh.
And they say that there are days that the demons like fly away and not exist anymore on certain days. And these are the days that have either 9 or 0 on a lunar calendar.
Whoa, okay.
So, but after knowing this and calculating the lunar calendar days of when my friends got married, it's either all a 9 or 0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting, right?
Very interesting.
What is that?
So again, that to me is on a different level of superstition than how you orient your furniture.
And you know how a lot of Korean people still go to like Saju, like the four pillars, like fortune tellers.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they name their children, they go to a so-called
Yes.
장명소,
Yeah, yeah.
where these people, I don't know, they're like semi-shamans,
Yeah.
name your children.
I mean, again, not the meme, but in media across, I think, the world, but maybe in my Korean American bubble, when I heard like one of the former presidents, right? Like she basically did everything according to her shaman, right? I mean, that to hear that in modern politics in anywhere in the world, I'd be like, that's crazy.
But you know what's
but it's pretty pervasive in Korea. So
it is very pervasive, and you know what's interesting? It's like the more high profile people, they tend to believe in it more for some reason. Like
I wonder if there's like some confirmation bias. It's like, oh, I got to this powerful or rich position.
There must be a reason.
Yeah, I believe in like
that's interesting.
I'm unique or selected, or this is the reason why. Yeah, so maybe there's some of that.
And in line with that, there's this thing called 고사.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Let's say you open up a new office or you buy a new car. You prepare a little bit of food, and they, like 제사 thing, right?
Yeah.
You do a little bit of 제사, but in that context, you call it 고사.
You're like blessing the space.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even my friend who just got like a new Tesla recently, isn't that so ironic? Like it's like the most tech
modern
advanced car ever, and he's like praying
over the car.
Yeah.
Like the car space.
You have the car,
and
you prepare food in front of it
to give it like good luck. The car, like don't get in an accident.
Yes, they still do that in my generation.
I mean, but that's okay. Are they doing it because of that 집집하다, like just in case, or is it like tradition, or do they actually believe like this is good luck for the car?
Combination of all of those.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I did not know this.
Okay, I think I've exhausted the list, but I also wanted to ask you a little. One myth or a common belief in America that I know about is the Illuminati. Have you heard of this?
I mean, it was in a very famous movie, right? Like with what was it? Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Anyway, Illuminati. There's like what are they? Like the older guilds, right? Like the stonemasons, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I do believe there is like an old network of like powerful, rich people, like influencing things behind the scenes. I think a lot of people would believe that's true. What is I think Illuminati or Freemasons or whatever.
Yeah, Freemasons.
Yeah, but it's like now who's a part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's more like this belief that there's a rich, powerful network of people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That's like a secret society. I think that's generally believed, yeah. I think it might be true. I think it is true. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But it's nothing, they don't have like mystic powers or anything. It's just like, well, we're rich. Let's like keep it that way.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a network, right? Why wouldn't you?
I think I would equate it to like the Jebol connections in Korea. Like, oh, he's like 3 degrees away. He has like this aura of power and wealth around him. He's untouchable. I think it's kind of, I'd relate it that way. Not like they have special powers or anything like that.
In Korea, the Jebol connections, they go to the further extent to actually marrying into each family.
Oh, wow.
To actually get intertwined.
Yeah. Anyways. But there's no belief that they're like superhuman, right? Oh, they're God class or something.
Oh, no. But speaking of that, I also know that there's this rumor of reptilians. Reptilians.
In Korea? In America?
In America.
Wow.
No, there's a rumor that...
You mean like reptile people?
Yeah, there's a rumor that Mark Zuckerberg...
Oh, come on. No. That's just a meme because he looks...
I know, but it's just funny, right? It's even in the Washington Post. Mark Zuckerberg was actually asked about reptilian conspiracy.
Oh, I didn't know
and he actually confirmed that I am not a lizard.
All right, Jun, I have my list of more superstitions that I'll go through very quickly. Top one is don't walk under a ladder. It's bad luck.
But that has some meaning behind that.
You
right?
don't want to be under a ladder for sure, but Like I was deathly afraid of walking underneath a ladder. Yeah, even though it's like apart from the slight risk that it collapses while you're underneath it, it's bad luck. Yeah.
There's a Korean equivalent of that. Don't step on the door threshold, and it's bad luck.
The door threshold? What's that?
Like there's a little bit of they don't have it in modern homes anymore.
Yeah.
But a little bit of like bump.
Oh, you're supposed to step over it,
Yeah.
not on top of it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Another one. If you see a black cat crossing your path, you'll have bad luck.
The Korean equivalent of that is a crow.
Oh, crows.
Crows are bad luck.
Ominous.
Yeah.
But black cats have no anything in Korea.
Nope.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Cracking a mirror, 7 years bad luck.
Why 7 years though?
I don't know. I think all of these are probably 7 years bad luck. Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask that too earlier when you said 4 is a bad number, unlucky number. What's a lucky number in Korea?
There isn't a lucky number.
It's not 8. I know in China 8's very lucky.
Everything just negative.
Everything.
I'm just joking. Korean people think 7's a lucky number,
7,
but that's
okay.
like I think Western influence.
Yeah. I was gonna say in America 7's lucky because like gambling and slots. I think.
But why 7? Why did gambling adopt 7 as a lucky number?
I want to say I haven't done any research, but the Christian roots. I think 7 is the number of completion.
Oh.
Yeah. So in general, 7 is considered like a complete number.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so nothing about cracking a mirror. Like in Korea, you crack a mirror, you don't think twice.
Nope.
Okay. Rabbit's foot is good luck, like my lucky rabbit's foot.
Yeah, I know about that one.
Yeah,
That's so random though.
It's so random.
Yeah.
Like people would have like a keychain of this like white lucky rabbit's foot to keep her.
Yeah. Why is that? What's the origin behind that?
I have no idea. Yeah. Is there any lucky item in Korea?
See, I just realized that there are so many things about bad luck,
Yeah.
and there aren't a lot of things about good luck in Korea.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that is really deep.
It is very deep,
Yeah.
right?
Koreans
the
are always
Korean
looking
mentality.
for, I think, reasons to. They're generally more pessimistic as a society,
Yeah.
whereas American is, I think, known to be very optimistic
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
society.
This is very interesting. I've never thought about that.
I never thought about
Yeah,
that either.
there aren't a lot of things that bring you good luck.
Just bad luck.
It's just avoiding bad luck.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna continue on with my good luck here. You can wish on a wishbone.
Yeah, let's end on a high note.
Have you heard of do wishbones have any significance in Korean culture?
The chicken thing? Or
Yeah,
the
so like
turkey
the
thing?
collar thing. Yeah, the wish. Is it collar? Pelvic? I don't know. But the little two thing that you
Yeah.
can like pull apart. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Apparently, this has its origins way back from the Roman time or Roman Empire.
Really?
Yeah, like people would fight over them because they were thought to be good luck.
So
It's kind of like a horseshoe shape. I think horseshoes are also considered lucky in Western society, and so maybe there's something about that shape. But apparently, in Roman society, they'd fight over them so much that they'd break, and that's where the origin of this tradition came from. If you pull it apart, whoever gets that side, their wish will come true.
So, okay. You know how I got to know about what a wishbone is?
American Thanksgiving one year.
Have you played this game called Operation?
Yeah. Of course, that's
There was
very
a
famous.
wishbone there, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's where you learned. Your parents were trying to get you to be a surgeon at a young age, and
Maybe. They don't have that anymore.
the game Operation. Maybe not, but I never played it. But it was very famous also growing up.
Yeah.
Okay, crossing your fingers is like good luck.
Yes.
Okay, in
Not
Korea
a Korean
too.
thing, no.
Not a Korean thing.
No.
Um,
Again, there's nothing related to good luck in Korea.
Okay. And two more. Oh, I should have not ended on these. Don't open up your umbrella inside the house.
Oh, I've never heard of this before.
I think that's also going to bring you bad luck. Yeah.
That makes sense because you'll probably break something.
Okay, and then the final one, Friday the 13th is a very ominous day.
Why is it?
No idea. I think Fridays in general, again, another theme is a lot of the Western beliefs, I think, stem from some sort of Christian origin or European origin. So in general, Friday, Christians celebrate it as the day that Jesus died. So Fridays in general are bad.
I see.
13 in general also was considered bad luck. Apparently Judas was the betrayer of Jesus. He was the 13th one to enter the room that night or whatever. So you just combine two bad luck days and you get Friday the 13th.
if 7 is a wholesome number,
Yeah.
13 is like,
The anti-wholesome.
like minus 1.
From
Right.
2.
Yeah.
But 13 in general is considered unlucky in the US, yeah.
Speaking of Christian origins, isn't like the number 666
Yes.
also?
Yeah, that's considered the sign of the demon or Satan or whatever. So yeah,
is that
666 really bad.
actually based on Christian literature, or is this something that's just made up?
It is in the Bible directly. It's something like, and the number on his forehead was 666, talking about, you know, the devil or something like that.
Interesting. So specific.
However,
Yeah.
again, as a Christian, I will just say, I think a lot of people, I don't read the Bible literally like that, right? 666 in the Bible, I don't think 666 is bad luck. That was probably in context some code referring to someone else. If I see 666, I don't think like, oh, bad luck. Although it's still like, what, chipchipada? Like, it's probably not better. I'm not going to like make my password 666.
You learned exactly what chipchipada means, and
Yeah.
you're using it in a very correct context.
I think it's a common sentiment
Yeah.
in the US for sure. It's
Yeah.
like, why not?
Yeah,
Does no
yeah.
harm.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So that's all the American myths and superstitions I had.
Yes. I have like a couple things that can be classified in a different category. Things that Korean people tend to be more sensitive towards.
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious.
There's a saying called 밥 먹을 때는 개도 안 건드린다.
When you eat rice, something about a dog.
Yeah, like you don't even bother a dog when they're eating.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Korean people have a very strong belief in that.
Yeah.
Like you don't bother someone when they're eating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then another one is they're very sensitive about hitting your head.
Like concussion.
Like hitting your head.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
yeah, sorry.
It's like very, very, what do you say? Very offensive.
Oh.
And I think Korean people knew that this is a very Korean thing. Is in Japanese variety shows, it's very common to like hit someone on the head. And you know when like Korean celebrities were becoming recognized in Japan and they were appearing on Japanese variety shows,
they'd get hit in the head.
Yeah, and then Korean people were so
Shocked.
offended by that. Like,
interesting.
How can you do that, right?
Yeah.
Like even in modern Korea, like even as an adult,
Yeah.
the moment when you get into a fight with someone is when someone hits you on the head.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you
so
never
that's
do
like
that.
really escalates the situation.
Yeah.
I'd say like smacking someone on the back of the head in American society.
Yeah.
It's more comical.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't hold that level. But the myth I was gonna say growing up is whatever. Every time you hit your head, you lose like 100 brain cells.
Oh, is that not a Korean thing?
I don't know. I believe that too, whether it's from Korean or American history. But...
Yeah, I've heard that a lot when I was growing up.
So I just sit there something like 100, 200, 300.
Anyways, American people who are listening to the podcast, when you come to Korea, never smack someone's head. It is very, very offensive.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a sign of combat.
I'm thinking in dramas too then, like, you know, when people are hitting themselves in the head, that like takes on maybe an extra meaning. Like I'm really trying to damage myself.
Maybe.
Whereas it doesn't hold that same level, I think, in American society.
Yeah. And then never bother someone when they're eating.
Yeah, that one, to be honest, when I hear that, I think kind of like patriarchal roots really don't bother men when they're eating. Or like, oh, don't bother your dad, he's eating, right? But I would never think like twice about bothering my mom.
I think Korean people, there's a culture in which they think the I guess action of eating as something a little bit of sacred.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very important.
Do you remember I brought this up in a previous episode?
Yes.
Yeah, walking while eating is like really taboo in Korean society, it seems. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
And you said, it's like they think you might get indigestion, but it's seen as like a not proper thing to do.
Yeah.
Whereas eating on the go in America is very common. Yeah.
And even like in work culture, you never eat alone on your desk.
Yeah.
It's considered to be a very sad thing or something that it's just you only do it when it's totally inevitable.
Yeah. But totally not a thing in America.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think food and meals as sacred in Korea definitely resonates.
Yeah.
Wait, there was one more I wanted to say. Oh, June, I'm surprised you didn't say this because it was also taught to me growing up. You don't put your chopsticks in your rice bowl because it's like the incense, right? It's when you're like sticking an incense thing. It's like how you celebrate a death, or is it just a tradition? I don't know.
I think it might relate to incense, but also when you're actually doing chesa, that's how you put your chopsticks on your rice.
In the rice.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I see. But yeah, you would never. Well, what would you think twice about putting your chopstick in your rice?
I know that it's a thing, but the reason that I think I might not have brought it up is because, like, who does that? It's just like a lot of things here is something that you could just easily do.
Yeah.
That is just bad luck.
Yeah.
But this is like you have to be very deliberate to do that.
I did it a lot. I did it growing up without thinking about it.
Oh, really?
It's just like, I guess, okay, here's my thinking. The tip of the chopstick is like where you eat and it goes into your mouth or whatever. I don't want to put that just anywhere, right? So I just stick it in the rice because I'm going to come right back and like eat it. It's like a safe place to store my chopsticks.
I think the angle is important, right? You can stick it diagonally and it'd still be okay, right? But you never do it perpendicularly to the ground.
I got in trouble for just like sticking it at an angle into my rice bowl. They're like, "Don't do that. It's bad luck."
I guess it's also something that my parents never taught
enforced.
me.
But you also never did it.
I knew that it was a thing growing up, but not from my parents. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I also wanted to ask if we're already probably long, but do you think Koreans are more susceptible to these kind of myths or superstitions than like Americans or Western society?
I think Asian culture in general, right?
A little bit more superstitious, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
It's just a way of thinking. You know how I talked about, I don't know if we've edited this out for the previous episode, but you know how I compared Asian angels versus the Western angels?
Oh, dragons.
Well.
Yeah.
The general way of thinking of the Western culture is more analytical and scientific oriented, whereas in Asian culture it's more, I guess there's a little bit more mythical and it's like energy, balance, power, and all that.
Yeah.
In case we edited out that portion when I talked about Western and Eastern Asian angels, Western angels always have wings when they fly. Yeah. It's very analytical, right? You would need wings to fly. Yeah. Whereas Asian angels, they just fly somehow. They don't have wings or anything.
I see.
Same with dragons as well. Yeah. Western dragons, they have wings to fly. They flap their wings.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that Asian dragons, they just fly. We don't know how, they just do.
I wonder. Yeah. Okay, interesting.
So I guess that's the reason why, I guess in Asian culture, people are more susceptible to believe in these myths because in the basis of their minds, they have an understanding of some things just happen without reason. Yeah.
Interesting. One thing that came to mind is I think Western society is very skeptical in general. It's like, oh, that can't be true, or like, and that can be weaponized politically too.
Yeah.
But, to be anti-science or whatever. But I think there's a general skepticism and people question things in Western society.
Yeah.
And you think Eastern society is more like, if you hear something, it's like, oh, yeah, why wouldn't that be true? Like, you'll go with it? Or do you think there is a general attitude of skepticism in Korea as well?
It's so interesting. I think skeptical thinking is related to analytical thinking, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But skeptical also means there's a little bit of negativity to that. Right?
Yes, you don't trust by default.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting is that Koreans are negative in general, right?
Yeah.
It's what we realize, but they're not skeptical. Whereas American culture, they're optimistic, but they are skeptical.
Interesting. That is interesting. Yeah. Okay. I think we had some interesting conclusions. Yeah, I never thought of the lack of good luck things in Korean society.
Yeah. What is good luck in Korean? I don't know.
Wow. It's crazy. Yeah. There's a lot of good luck things in the US.
Yeah.
How about wishes? Like, again, this is we're going longer than we need to. But to tradition of like blowing out candles, making a wish, right? Americans wish on shooting stars. They make wishes when they pull wishbones, right? Like, Americans love making wishes and believing they'll come true. do Koreans ever make wishes? On what occasion do you make wishes?
They do. I think luck in traditional Korean context is called 복.
복.
Good fortune.
Like 새해 복 많이
Yeah.
받으세요.
So 새해 복 많이 받으세요 is also a way of wishing fortune, right? Have good luck in the new year.
Yeah.
They also pray to the moon.
There's like isn't there a thing where you like write something and then you hang it up somewhere or you burn it? Am I totally making that up?
It might be a Buddhist thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen that too. Oh, they write something on the lanterns.
Yeah, and then let it float. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are ways to try to make wishes or get better luck, right? Okay, so those are the ways.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Wait, we need to tie in our outro to the episode. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping everyone listens to this podcast and has good luck and fortune in their lives. So thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye. Pamyo means, it's a very odd word for a Korean person too. I think.
Wait, can I guess first?
I don't think you could, but
no,
but
this was a bad joke.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say like green onion tomb.
Green onion tomb.
Because pa is green onion.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Myo is tomb.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, sorry, bad joke. They make wishes when they pull wishbones, right? Like, yeah. Oh, it's literally called a wishbone. Okay. Anyway, that's so weird to me. Why is it called the wishbone? Okay. Anyway, there has to be a better outro. I'll keep
turn off your fans.